Welcome to The Buzz, where we bring you leaders in dental education, discussing hot topic courses and industry trends. I'm your host, Vanessa Emerson, founder of Dental Speakers Bureau, and today I'm honored to be interviewing Dr. Kimberly Harms. Welcome, Kim.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. During this segment, we'll be talking about Kim's course, Neutralize Your Nightmares, Promote Office Harmony Through Structured Conflict Management. Now, Dr. Harms is a neutral mediator in the state of Minnesota. Her mission is to help your meeting attendees gain the knowledge and skills to be able to work their way through inevitable loss, transition, conflict, and crises. So, Kim, let's get started. I think we can kind of anticipate what's happening in the practice that would require this, but could you elaborate on that a little bit? What's the challenge here for the dentist or the dental team that this course would help solve?
Well, Vanessa, I've been around the block a couple of times when it comes to dentistry and worked with a lot of dentists over many years. And the number one problem, the number one headache that they have in their office is conflict, either conflict between team members or conflict with a patient. It's the thing that keeps them up at night. And so I'd like to help address this through the use of structured mediation, conflict management through structured mediation.
Okay, so this sounds like this might be different than a lecture when we say through mediation. Can you elaborate more on what do we actually do in your course?
Well, in my course, what I try to do is train office personnel to learn about what the basis of conflict, to develop the verbal skills necessary to manage a conflict, to accept that the issue is happening, to apologize appropriately, to make sure there's follow-up with the staff member or with the patient, and basically to also train conflict managers within the office so that when there is conflict in the office, it doesn't get stirred up in the staff lounge or in the sterilization area. The conflict has a structured program to go through. So if you're sitting in that sterilization area and someone starts to complain about something, staff member, team member needs to say, go to the conflict manager with that issue. And what we find, I use those in my office, what we find is that when you have conflict managers in your office, which means a person has to take responsibility for the conflict and for finding a solution to the conflict, there's a lot less conflict. People don't complain. People just accept things as they are. So there are very, very many benefits to managing conflict within a structured way in the dental office. And I would like to train staff members and dentists and staff members, the whole team, to be able to do that. It's a team effort to manage conflict.
So we learn about being a conflict manager or setting that up. But can you tell us a little more about what specifically, what do we learn in this course? What are the tools and resources? Pardon me.
Yes, no problem. Well, we learned, first of all, what is conflict? What causes conflict? It's a universal phenomenon. I visited a lot of countries like Rwanda and Georgia, Armenia, Mongolia that experience a lot of conflict, and it's the same thing. So what is the what's the basis structure of conflict? I also teach you how to manage that individually, one-on-one. What do you need to tell a patient if they're complaining about something? How do you need to talk to your other team member to make sure you're uplifting them rather than bringing them down? By solving conflict in the office, you really can prevent resolution. You resolve the conflict instead of revolting. So I think increasing the harmony of the office, not only among the team members, but also between the patients and the team and the doctor, it has amazing benefits and basically lets you go to sleep at night.
Awesome. And one more question then on the format. It sounds like this is something where you bring your team and you work together, and it's not, as I was starting to mention earlier, it's not so much lecture, here's how you do it, but more like them hands-on working with it. Would that be accurate?
There are several ways we can structure it. First is a lecture on basic conflict, how to address issues, if something goes wrong in the office, what do you say to the patient to prevent you from getting in trouble. I do have some structured lectures on those. I also have, which is the most fun for me, is a more interactive part of the lecture. It can be a workshop, or can be attached to the lecture. When I train the conflict managers, and we take roles of, and we have fun with it. We have fun roles in which you can kind of get out maybe some of the things that really happened to you and use that in your character to solve some common problems that occur in the office. You know, for instance, if a hygienist asks a front desk person to call a patient that has canceled when the front desk person has 5 people standing in line. I mean, the front desk person thinks, go back and call your own patient. How do you manage that? Those are the simple little things that happen in the office on an everyday basis. And I think through my lecturing and my workshops, I try to train your staff to work those out together and create harmony in the office so that, you know, we can all sleep at night.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you are trained as a mediator, and that really speaks volumes about the quality of the education here. So is there anything else that we haven't talked about that would benefit the event planner to know about your presentation?
Yes, if you or anyone you know is going through a transition, grief, or conflict issue that needs some help, book me, the dental mediator. I've been there and I can help.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. Well, there you have it. Thanks so much for sharing with us today, Kim. And thank you for listening in to this episode of The Buzz. You can find out more about booking Dr. Harms by visiting dentalspeakersbureau.com. You can find her through our Find a Speaker page, or you can use the search function and just look up her name, Harms, just like it sounds. Or you could reach out to me, info@dentalspeakersbureau.com, and I'd be happy to connect you. So until next time, be well, and thanks again for tuning in.